I told you this is a type of upasana. We are coming down out of their compassion. First they gave the easiest, the highest and most easily performable technique by which we can attain the Lord. We can attain the self-realization or God-realization. But then, as everybody is very compassionate, so Vidyaranya, who was actually one of the pontiffs of Sringeri Mutt, you will find there is a special temple for him the moment when you enter inside next to the Sharada's temple in Sringeri. That mutt is specially only for Vidyaranya. It's a fairly big one. Because he had distinguished himself, as I said, he is one of the finest exponents of the entire Vedas, the one who has translated the entire Vedas and commented on the entire Vedas. That was Sayana. And he didn't do it in the pride of his own knowledge. He used to write the commentary for something, call for the conference of all the Vedic scholars. With all humility he will say, this is what I have written. Does everybody agree? This seems to be the interpretation according to my powers of meditation and insight. And only when they all agreed, then he used to go further. So he was a very unique scholar, devotee, tapasvi, a sage, all put together. So here is as I said, there are so many types of upasanas which are, I can't say that they are obsolete. There may be some who may be doing, if they are all, I can't say, who are all doing what sort of techniques following in their own houses or in their own ashrams. But then some of these methods, see, the Upanishads, they talk of various types of upasana. They are called Vidya. Vidya means upasana. Vidya doesn't mean knowledge. See, Vidya has got several meanings. But then in the context of the Upanishad, normally, Vidya means the upasana, that type of formal worship, symbolic worship, pratika upasana. There we have got Madhu Vidya, Samvarga Vidya, Panchagni Vidya. So there are various types of upasanas which are mentioned in various ways. Then, taking the various syllables of the Vedas, say for instance on Om itself, and then the Samveda has got some syllables which have no meaning. They are called the stobhas. When they sing, you see the Samveda is one which is set to tune. So there, they use certain things just like our musicians who use certain unnecessary words. See, there is no such word. So they may be using it. In the similar way, in the Samveda, so these are all that ha, hu, they have got no meanings perhaps externally, but they are all sound vibrations of important nature which are beneficial for the world, which are beneficial for the particular person who is doing the yaga and yajna. So based on those sobhas, they have given some types of upasanas, some questions, you concentrate on this sobha and all that for people who are doing Samveda. It is given in the Chandogya Upanishad. So there are various types of subtle upasanas. The grass upasanas are what we may be doing, bringing flowers and putting the Lord's idol made of wood or made of the various metals, and then we do the Sahasranama Archana, or we do the Trishati, we do the Ashtottara, that is 108 names of the Lord, or 1000 names of the Lord, or 300 names of the Lord, and they are not ordinary names. The names, whether you understand the meaning or not, they are all sound vibrations excellently joined together even though outwardly it looks they have got some meanings, but there is no need for you to know the meaning at all. You just to chant them, the very rhythm of it will carry you. And not only that, they are all formed, they conjoined, those words are conjoined in such a way to produce certain vibrations which will have certain beneficial effects in the entire atmosphere around. This is how they have been made. So, out of them, that is one upasana. For instance, we are doing the upasana on the breath itself. That is, we consider the breath itself is the highest Lord, because that is the known one which is everywhere, which is subtle, which goes everywhere. So it is almost like the Brahman in many aspects. It is as infinite. So, on that is called the Mukhya Prana. It is not a simple breath we do. The breath which has been impregnated with the cosmic energy from the entire cosmic being itself. It is not only the cosmic energy, it has also got that full consciousness in it. So consciousness, the cosmic energy, plus the various vibrations based on them, they are all inside it. That is how it is like. So, that is called the Mukhya Prana. Mukhya Prana means the main bioforce. That is the bioforce which is behind the breath, which goes inside and lends us all this strength. So that is the real this thing. Otherwise, we are just taking some oxygen inside and we think that oxygen has got nothing else to do. But it is not a mere oxygen. It has got a lot of properties of which perhaps our science is not fully aware yet, which our Vedas have been aware. So they call it as almost near to the Brahman. It comes secondly to the Brahman. They call it as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the first unmanifested manifestation. That is, you don't see him. It is a subtle manifestation of the Lord in the form of the energy which has created this entire world. So in that way, there are upasanas or types of worships. Similarly, there is another type of worship. Every one of us, we like to see the sun. Somehow the sun always attracts us because of its effulgence. So you look at the sun, and then do we think that they are all lifeless things like they are all only planets which contain nothing? No. We believe that every item has got a particular divine power in it. So we call it the presiding deity. See, even in our own body, hand, we call Indra is the presiding deity of the hand. So if you want this hand to do something good, you pray to the hand, pray to the deity who is presiding over the hand. All these have got great effects. We don't know. As I once told, there is a chap who every day evening after going home, he will take his shoes off, keep it, and he will beg its pardon. Sorry, today I have used you over a lot of hill and dale. I am sure so many thorns have pricked you. In order to save my own skin, I have put you to a lot of trouble. So he used to talk to it, beg its pardon. You see, all these things, we will think that these will all lead us to the asylum. Not necessarily. They could lead us to the final asylum, the refuge of all. We never know. Similarly here, he says, the presiding deity of the sun. Inside the sun we say, the Lord Suru Narayana himself is there. Hari Hiranmaya Vapuhu Dhrita Shankachakraha. Like that, we say, when we do the worship of the sun, there is a sloka where we say, O sun, inside which is Lord Narayana himself, he is in an effulgent form. It is his effulgence which has made you so prominent in your effulgence. So that is how we do the prayers. So there is a deity, there is a living deity, there is a cosmic force which is fully aware of its existence, which can be kind, which can be compassionate, which can grant you your boons to some extent. So such a divine force is there. Similarly, our eyes have got a divine force. Our eyes have derived its power of seeing from the sun. It is told, where from what has come? Chaksha Suryo Vajayata Mukhadindrascha Agnischa Pradnat Vajurajayata Nabhya Asidantariksham. There is a Genesis in the Purusha Sutta where it says, where from which has come? It is from the sun, the eyesight has come to us. Chaksha Suryo Vajayata. Then the phase has come which refers to the Agni, because this walk or the speech, it has got the power of fire. With your speech you can conquer the world, and it can be sharp, it can burn you in the proper ways. If you talk in some ways in a sarcastic way, how much you feel, it is almost burning you. So it has got the power of fire. Mukhadindrascha Agnischa. So both Indra and Agni, they are living in the face. Pradnat Vajurajayata. Then the Vayu, that is the god of wind, he is there in our breath. He is there in our vital breath, in our bioforce. So like that, everything has got a link with a particular portion of the divine force. The cosmic, it has got infinite powers. So out of them, each one has derived some of its powers. And as such, we consider the presiding deity. So he says, the one who shines in my eye as my Atman, that is the presiding deity of the eye. Yesterday I told you, from the eye you can see what a personality is. The murderous eyes, the compassionate eyes, the eyes of somebody, whose brain has not developed. All these things, everything is very special. You can easily see. So the entire Atma comes through the eye. You can see how sincere a person is by just looking at his eye. So, you see, the one who is in my eye, he is there also in the sun. Not only that, there is an exchange, a reciprocal exchange. The one who is the presiding deity of the sun, he is very much in my eye. So it is a mutual exchange. Rather, it is the same one who is in my eye, he is also there. The presiding deity over my eye, over my right eye. Because in the Brihadaranyaka of Upanishad he says, the right eye, the sun is there, and Indra is also presiding over it. While the left eye, the Indrani, the wife of Indra, she is presiding over this. And this Indra is not the Indra which we think a god who is in charge of a few gods. No. Here by Indra, we normally mean the Supreme Being. In the entire Vedas, our Ganapati Muni has written several articles about it in Sanskrit, that Indra means the highest superior god. And he has written on Indra Shatakam and all such things. So many articles he has written about Indra. So Indra in the Vedas, it refers not to the limited God, not to the many edition of the Supreme God, but to the Supreme Being itself. So they are supposed to be here, and it can easily take the form of a sun. And the sun has got a deity, so you just to think that the one who is in my eye, he is in the entire sun's rays, and he is fully effulgent. Think of that effulgence, and you can do a meditation by that way, concentrating on your right eye itself. So he is talking of that upasana. So what do these scholars of Vedas teach? Vedavadinaha yadu adhyapayanti. Many of these scholars in Vedas, they teach us. Adhyapayanti means they teach us. What do they teach? Yaha aham atra varshmani bhami. The one who, the I who is shining in this body, And the body, even though it is mentioned, it actually means the right eye. We extend it to the right eye. Even though the word Varshma, it means the body. But here, as there are specific references to the right eye and to this particular type of technique in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, here by body we mean the right eye. So we will say the one presiding deity who is Bhami. Bha means to shine. Bha means to shine. So Bhami, Aham Bhami means I shine. The one who is shining as Atman in my right eye, Asau, this eye, Saha, he is that who is in the Ravi Mandala. Ravi Mandale Yaha Asti, the one who is in the zone of the sun, he is the same who is in my right eye as my power of eyesight. Then, Aham Varshmani Yaha Bhami, the one who Yaha Aham Bhami, the one who shines. Bha means light. And we normally, by light, we also mean jnana. We also mean knowledge. Because, supposing you don't understand some portion here, I'll go and ask him, could you please throw light? He doesn't take a torch and put it on. So there, by light, we mean the knowledge. The knowledge and light, because it shines so much, so we call them as the same. That is why the name of this country is called Bharata. What is Bharata? Bharat. Rata means the one who is engaged. All the people in this country were engaged only in spiritual realization, in jnana. Bhayam rataha iti bharataha. The country where everybody was engaged in the acquisition of knowledge, that is called Bharat. That is how the term came. Similarly here, Bhami means the one who shines with that light. Then, first is he says, the one who shines in the eye, he is the same who is in that zone of the sun. The second line says, Yaha asau Ravi Mandale Vibhati. The one who shines. Vibhati means shines. Where? In Ravi Mandale, in the zone of the sun, as the sun, the one who is effulgent there, Saha Aham, he is myself, he is also in my eye, in my body, so he is I. I am the supreme being who is presiding over the sun, and the supreme being who is presiding over the sun, he is also very much in me. Now, this is what we call as a reciprocal exchange. It could be one side. I can say the one who is there, he is here. Not necessarily the one who is here should be there. But here is the case, the one who is presiding in me as a divine force, he is the very one who is also there. The one who is shining as the cosmic force in the sun, he is also here. This is called Vyatihartaha. In the third one it says Vyatihartaha. Vyatihartaha means in a technique of reciprocal exchange. The one who is here, he is there. The one who is there, he is here. This type of explanation, this is called a reciprocal exchange. So, the scholars in the Vedas, they are teaching us in this way. As per the Vedas, this is a type of meditation they teach us by a reciprocal exchange method. Vyatiharataha yat adhyapayati. So the reality which they teach us by telling that the one who is the presiding deity in your right eye, he is the same who is the presiding deity in the sun, he is the ultimate supreme being. Or the one who is the supreme being who is presiding over the sun, he is verily in your very eyes, so you just shut your eyes and concentrate on this. You don't consider simply as an eye, you consider the entire the zone of the sun which is shining like anything, concentrate on the right eye and sit, and in due course you may get into samadhi state. So this is one method of getting into it. This is called the Akshividya. That is the upasana, the worship through the eye. So there are so many methods. This is one such method. So Vedavadinaha Vyatiharataha Yat Adhyapayanti. Thus, this particular reality which the Vedic scholars emphasize to us in this method of mutual or reciprocal exchange, that is what you are. Yatnataha, they also try to know, it's not so easy to understand these types of upasanas. So they take pains to see that the disciples are able to understand so that you can follow this method. So yatnataha means with great efforts they teach. Yatnataha adhyapayanti. They are trying a lot to see that you understand what they say. They are repeating what is in the Vedas. But then the Vedas always, they talk in a very, very crisp manner which you can't understand. They are all like formulae. They are all called sutras. So unless somebody who has understood it by his own meditation and tapasya, it is not so easy to explain it simply from the words or through the dictionaries or through grammar alone. One cannot explain them. Then practically, we'll be falling off the mark. We won't be able to really explain what was meant. So these people are taking pains, yatnataha, by taking pains with great efforts, yat adhyapayanti. So that reality, tat tattvam tvamasi, you are that reality which is being taught in this form of upasana by the Vedic scholars. I hope it is clear. So we go to the 7th. Vedānuvacana saddāna mukha dharmaihi shraddhaya nushtitaihi vidyaya yuktaihi vividishanti atyanta vimalasvantaham brahmanaham yad brahma tattvam tattvam. Here he is coming down still further, because in our Vedic culture, we believe that there are 3 types of antenna which are available among the people who sit and come for spiritual practice. One of them we call him as Uttamadhikari, the one whose antenna is perfect. However subtle the subject may be, he can catch it very easily. Then there is a still lower type of antenna, there is a still lower type of people whose brain may not be so sharp, but at the same time you can't call it dull. Only thing is, they would like to slowly get it repeated twice or thrice, then they can catch it. They are called the mediocres. They are called the Madhyamadhikari. And then there is a 3rd type who are called Adhamadhikari, the inferior most, but everybody has to come up. Finally, all of us are part of him. The one who is posing himself as the dullest person in the world, he is also the same Brahman. He is only posing. It is an act. So what does it matter whether he acts as a dull chap or whether he acts like an Einstein? Both are the same as far as we are concerned. So, here he is going to tell us the very normal step which most of us are likely to take. And this step, don't consider as inferior. The persons will be inferior, but he is giving us a technique which is as good as the technique for the higher type. Don't think that for the lower type he is prescribing an LKG class, for the middle type he is prescribing the UKG, and the higher type he is taking them to the PhD. Not at all. All the three are PhD classes, but this is meant for retarded children like us. That's all. But don't think these retarded children are taught anything less. They appear within the same time for the same examination, they pass with same honors. That's the beauty of this, in this case. So don't think that it is an inferior karma which is being now taught. Here he is going to tell us all the normal duties for a householder which is prescribed in the Vedas. What are prescribed in the Vedas? It prescribes daily morning you recite the Vedas, you are having the Rudram Chamaka, hear it. If you can, you also recite it. Or then the Taittiriya Upanishad is being taught. Shamya, Akya, Syavaha, Varnaswaraha, Matrasuram, Matravala. So they are telling it. Even by hearing it, the vibration goes inside. Otherwise, you know, Bhagavan's days it was started by, I think, Major Chadwick and others. So they didn't start it, you know, if it was meant for such foolish people and with such a Bhagavan here, he would not have started it. He knows that it is an equally effective one. For some of us, it is very much required. So we could only go by this path. So that's why they were all started. So, and there are various dharmas which are prescribed for a normal householder. We don't have time to go on sitting on meditation or sitting and doing japa of 10,000 times, 20,000 times. Early morning at 7:30 I have to go to the factory. I shall be returning at night 9 o'clock, God knows when. And then there will be so many problems in the house, the children coming with their homework, and the wife saying, you see, well, today we have to go and purchase the provisions, and then saying, you see, one child has to be taken to the doctor. And with all these multifarious problems and duties, how can we afford to spend some 7 hours with our spiritual meditation? So they have prescribed such things which are easy to follow, which you can continue along with anything. That is, one is called the yajnas. Daily, you do nothing. If you know something, for half an hour you teach somebody some Gita or other things. It's called the Jnana Yajna. You possess some knowledge of some religious text. You have studied under some Swamiji or some scholars. Then why don't you teach to some? Or at least to keep your neighbor's children, teach them some Vishnu Sahasranama, how to recite it. Even that is quite good. So that is called the yajna. It is a sacrifice. See, if you are able to devote a little time, a little of your energy for the sake of somebody else, it is one of the greatest of austerities. So if only you can do it for half an hour even, it becomes a yajna. Not only that, even if you can't do, when you are eating, keep out one slice of bread for the wayside dog. Keep one slice of it for the cat. Even that is a yajna. That is called the bhuta yajna. See, you are trying to feed somebody outside your circle. There is, you normally feed only your son, your wife, and at the most your friends. But here is a case, some stray dogs are coming and standing there, you feed them. That's all. So all these things are austerities which you can easily do while a householder, while looking after all your problems. So such things have been prescribed in the Vedas, by which you can easily progress to the higher spirituality as the other man who is doing 15 hours of meditation. Then apart from it there is japa. Go on chanting the name of the Lord. Either you can have that formal japa which has been given by some guru, which is called a diksha. There is a special method of initiation where they give you some of the mantras. But those who don't have, they need not feel desperate. Oh my Lord, I couldn't find a guru. Shall I advertise for a guru? Wanted one guru, well versed in mantra shastra. You can guarantee to give him moksha within 8 months when he himself hasn't got. How can you guarantee you? So that's not possible. So in those cases, what you do? Take the name of the Lord. Simply Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Go on repeating it. That is all great. There is a mantra which Bhagavan himself has given to some. So you go on repeating it. That's all. So the vibrations themselves, they will work. That is called the japa, repetition of it. You need not take time to do it. When you go to the office, sitting in your taxi, sitting in your car, you go on taking the name. And when you are going and doing your office files, in between, after every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, after every 1 hour, after every 2 hours, keep a sheet of paper. Remember the Lord every 1 hour. Sometime or other you will see. Immediately you can keep your files. 2 minutes just to sit, say, Oh Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. 10 times, you start your work. So, such things are all so easy, they have all been given. And another thing is, every day hundreds of people are asking you 100 questions. Early morning your child comes and asks, Mummy, shall I wear that blue frock or that red frock? Before answering it, for a moment, you take the Lord's name. Jai Shri Ramana. Jai Shri Ramana. And then you tell, well, yesterday itself you wore the blue frock. Why don't you wear that other pink one today? And once you finish that answer, you take once more, Jai Shri Ramana. So twice you have taken the Lord's name, and every day 200 times so many questions are going to be asked. You go to the office, then somebody will come and say, have you finished with the file? Before answering yes or no, take the name of the Lord. And then answer again, yes, yesterday I have finished, the file is with the director. Once you have finished it, you take the name of the Lord once. All inside you need not even do it openly, lest your colleagues may not think that your screw is becoming loose. That's all. But it's all so easy. These are all scriptural methods. It is given in the Bhagavata. There is that. Whenever somebody asks you a question, remember the Lord once and then answer him. This is given there. You take your telephone, go on telling hello, hello, hello. Instead you take the Lord's name once. Say, Sri Ram, yes, who is talking, please, finish it and tell one Sri Ram, over, keep it. So these are all simple methods. Then do some charity, have a few chips by your side. Nowadays 1 rupee and 50 paise have no value. Keep all the 50 paise which come to your side to be given to somebody. Go outside, there are people enough, give it to 1 or 2 of them. So this is called the dana. But the dana for a householder, he should do it to the proper person. You shouldn't do it to the improper person, so you give it and that fellow goes and drinks. There is a chap, there is a beggar here. It seems one day he asked, look here, I have not taken any meals at all, so I want some money. The fellow was inclined to pay, but then he demurred. He says, if I pay, you see, you look like a drunkard, you will go and drink. No, 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 I have kept separate money for it. So, such people are there. So that is not called sadhana. So he says, Vedanu vachana sadhana mukha dharmaihi. So he is now coming to a normal practice, a practice which is possible for all of us. Well, in those days, early morning, people could find some time to repeat the Vedas. So it is called Vedanuvachana. Vachana means words. Anuvachana means to repeat those words. It is called Anuvachana. Anu means following something to repeat it again. That is called Anu. So, Anuvachana, Vedanuvachana, by repetition. Early morning you get up, 15 minutes it will take for a Rudram. Start, Namaste Ruddham Anyava Uddhavadesha Bhe Namaha. Start. 15 minutes you can finish it, that's all. Just to do only one of them every day for 10 minutes. So, Vedanuvachana. Then, what else a householder can normally do? You need not go to the highest level of thinking of the Supreme Consciousness, remaining as consciousness. Well, these are all words which are, mind-clogging. So you need not go by that. These are all very simple. They are all prescribed. The books are there. Learn it for a few days with any priest. Then you can repeat them. Vedanuvachana, Saddhana Mukha. Then Saddhana. Dana means charity, giving some money in charity, giving some food in charity to people. Sadhana means the righteous, correct method of dana or charity. What is the correct method of dana? It is always told that you give it to the deserving people. So you should be able to have, to some extent, I mean, it's not necessary that whenever somebody asks, you refer him completely to the police, get the antecedents verified as the government does in verification for a service. No, you can't do that. But then your instinct should tell you the way in which he is asking, the way in which, his face looks. So from that you have to gather, and to some extent, this fellow has been sitting here only, he doesn't go anywhere else. And you have seen him also at the off times when he is sitting there in the gate. So many people have seen, even though they are beggars, they go on taking the Lord's name, they are keeping their beads in their hands. So to such people you can easily give. While there are other people you will find outside, they are only smoking and they are going, and you will find them in the tea shops. So you will have to, as far as possible, using your own discriminative capacity, using your sixth instinct, then you should be able to give the charity in the right places. That is called the Saddhana. Vedan, Vachana, Saddhana, Mukha Dharma. Mukha means headed by all these things. The repetition, this thing, Mukha means here, it means etc., etc. There are various other such duties which are mentioned. So as I said, feeding some animals. So these are all the various types of the dharmas. So dharmas means the duties which are enjoined in the scriptures. That is what we call dharma. Veda pranihito dharma. So in the Vedas they are clearly given the do's and the don'ts. You can do this and you should not do this. So what it is prohibits, one shouldn't do. And what is not prohibited, but specifically says you do, it says, Mata Deva Bhava, Putra Deva Bhava. Early morning you get up, go to your mother, try to help her a little in her work. If you can cut some vegetables for her, spend some 5-10 minutes for your mother. So these are all the Mata Devatvam. Not simply going and just falling at her feet and coming away. No, you should do something concrete also. Then, by doing all these things, this is not sufficient. Shraddhayanushthitaihi. Then, whatever upasanas, now he is coming down not to subtle upasanas, but to gross upasanas. Gross upasanas mean, say, worshipping an idol, worshipping Sri Chakra, worshipping a photo of a guru. So these are all the gross upasanas. Doing Lalita Sahasranama and then worshipping with kukum, deepa. So you keep a small lighted. Some 20-30 people join together, each one keeps it. Then somebody reads the Lalita Sahasranama, Om Shri Maharshi Maharaj Nirma, and you go on offering the flowers or the kumkum. So this sort of a thing, that is now he is coming to that. And that cannot alone do. There is no use of doing only this puja and then doing and abusing all the beggars who approach you and then fighting with everybody. Don't think that we can get there. External harmony and then looking at all the people as the representatives of the Lord and behaving with everybody with kindness, with compassion, with forgiveness, it is a must for any upasana. So even here, that is why he is talking of this sadhana and all these things, charity and then helping other people and then helping the mother, helping the father, and thus doing all the duties of essential along with the other upasanas. They have to be done along with all these things. So, Shraddhaya Anushthitaihi, you perform the upasanas with Shraddha. Shraddha, some people interpret it in English as sincerity. No. It has been defined very clearly in our scriptures. Shraddha means Guru Vachane Vede Api Vishwasaha. It means faith in the words of the Guru. in the words of Mahatmas or saints, in the words of the scriptures. Yes, it is given clearly, I will get my spiritual realization if I follow this. If you don't have belief, it's given there, let me also try, so many people are trying, then you won't get the benefit. Even the best of medicines will not help you unless you think, yes, this is definitely going to help. The doctor who has prescribed, he is easily one of the best available in Tiruvannamalai. He is an MD, he is an FRCS, so I got faith in him. Then even a placebo can help you better. These have all been experimented. See, something which is not even a medicine, you tell him this is the latest medicine, that fellow will be cured. Because he has got such a belief in you, his belief will cure you automatically. When somebody, some blind man touched the hem of the garment of Jesus when he is walking, he says, what do you want? He says, Master, cure me, I am blind. Do you believe that you shall be cured? Yes, I do have faith I shall be cured. He says, let thy faith cure you. And he goes away and the fellow gets his eyesight. So it is the faith which is important. That is what is called the Shraddha. So whenever you do any upasanas, whenever you are doing Lalita Sahasranama, believe this Lalita Sahasranama is going to be immensely beneficial, both in this world as well as in the other world. It will give you bhukti and mukti. It will give you enjoyment in this world, and it will also take you to the final emancipation, to the final salvation. Believe in it 100%, do it, and it will definitely take you to the highest. That is there. So, Shraddhaya Anuttitaihi Vidyaya Yuktaihi. Vidyaya Yuktaihi. So, the spiritual practice, there should be the upasana. Vidya here doesn't mean knowledge. Vidya here means upasana. In the Ishavasya Upanishad and all the Upanishads, it has been told Vidya means upasana. But this upasana alone won't do. And in this upasana also you should do it in the proper technique. Supposing I am doing the upasana of Devi, of the Divine Mother, and I think this Devi is different from Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva is different from Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is different from Ganesha, so long as you have this division in your mind, whatever you get, the results will be very, very small, infinitesimally small, you wouldn't get the full benefit at all. So the Upanishad says, this is not the way of the Upasana. You may do for any god, you can accept Ayyappan as your god, you can accept Lord Ganesha as your god, but take it, I am worshipping that cosmic supreme being who is in all the beings, who is everywhere, who is beyond time and space and who is the only reality. As I can't worship him, as I can't see him as he is invisible, by an imagination, I am just invoking him in this small figure, and I am not worshipping this figure, I am not worshipping this stone, I am worshipping that cosmic being, that supreme being. So, and through some medium only you can do it. Without a medium you find it difficult. As he is immanent in all the objects, you choose in any one of the objects where the manifestation according to the scriptures will be easier to obtain, and then you worship it, you get all the benefit. Like that we will have to do it according to what is prescribed in the Shastras. They are given how to do in Upasana, and all these things accordingly we should do. Not simply start anything, oh anyway I have to do in Upasana, I will sit and all that, I will just tell anything I want, in any manner I want, whether I understand Sanskrit or not, I will mispronounce it and I will put some flowers. No, that won't do. You will have to do it in the proper way, you will have to learn it from the proper people, it won't take much time. So he says, Vidya Yuktaihi Vividishanti Atyanta Vimala Swanta Brahmanaha. What is my Brahmana? The Brahmana doesn't mean the Brahmins by birth. Brahmana has been defined in our Shastras as, there are a lot of definitions. It is told Brahma janati iti Brahmana. It is told in the Manusmriti, everybody is born as a Shudra. Because Shudra has been defined as one who is not aware about the knowledge of self. He is not even aware that there is something called a self, there is something called a supreme being, whose knowledge is essential for me to get out of these miseries. A man who doesn't know it, he is called a Shudra. We are all born like that. Janmana jayate Shudraha. Then samskara jayate Dvijaha. Then Dvija means a man who is born twice. So the first time you are born, you have been born only as somebody, who doesn't come under any important category, not fit for the spiritual realization as you are born. So only after the 6th or the 7th year, they are supposed to initiate you into the spirituality. See, according to the various community in which they are born, everybody is supposed to be initiated. Beta, there is something called the Supreme God. Every day you will have to sit for a few minutes and think of Him, either through Gayatri or by various other means. We have to worship the Sun God. So like that, he has to be taught. That is what is being done. Then he is supposed to have a second birth, because his real spiritual birth starts from that day, when that initiation takes place from his own father. But nowadays his own father doesn't know it, where from he can teach him. He is so busy, poor man, in becoming a vice president in a company, in becoming a managing director, or standing for the elections. So, then the third one is, when he learns the Vedas, he is called a Vipra. But learning the Vedas alone won't do. Then he should have, studying the Vedas, he should have some indirect knowledge of God. Because the direct knowledge can come only after a lot of austerities and all these things. So the first indirect knowledge, when you read the Upanishads, it talks, there is a Brahman, he is all consciousness, he is called Satchidananda, he is all existence. So know that to that extent, just as what we are now doing, this is all the indirect knowledge we are getting. So that is what we should get. And when once you get it, then you are called a Brahmana. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. And then in the Mahabharata, there are about 10 slokas at one place to say who is a Brahmana. A real Brahmana, the one who knows, he is not bothered about the world. He knows the entire world is all Maya. So what he does, yatra kochana shayisya, yatra kochana ashita. A man who sleeps anywhere he likes, he is not bothered whether he gets a pillow, whether he gets something to sleep on, nothing. He sleeps anywhere, he eats anywhere, he eats anything. For 2 days he doesn't get anything to eat, he doesn't bother. He says, Tamdeva Brahmanam Vidu. The gods call him a Brahmin. And like this there are about 8 slokas. Then in Dhammapada of our Buddha has given a similar distinction. The one who has got no desires. Such a man is called a Brahmana. Not the one who is wearing the 3 threads. He is written like that. That is called Dhammapada. It is one of the canons, the triad canons. The Tripitaka it is called. So there he is mentioning. So here he means such a type of Brahmana. So those people, the particular reality whom they want to understand, Vividisha, Vetum Ichcha Vividisha, that is the desire to know the ultimate reality, that is called Vividisha. So these people want to desire to know who is that who is beyond all the system. A system means that should be a system maker. They want to know him. So when can they know him? Only when their heart becomes pure. Atyanta vimala swantaha. When all their senses, when all their antakaranas, when all their inner heart, the innermost heart becomes pure. What do you mean by pure? Where it has no jealousy, it has no anger, it has no avarice, it has no greed. It never feels that somebody is different from him. Where it feels, I am all, everybody is in me, I am in everybody.